Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. Hey, my goodness, where did April go? Sisters, I don't know where April went. It just flew by, but here we are. Such an important topic today. And every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, we're busy. We get in and we get out with topics and interaction, and we're featuring our esteemed faculty partners always in thinking about what can we do to optimize, grow, and streamline our businesses and our lives too. I think that we help our clients, we support our clients to do this. And I also think to myself, hey, what am I doing to implement some of these strategies? So my intention today is to present some ideas, get the conversation going, and to have us think about, hey, what can I do to improve and accelerate the work and the impact that I'm doing in the world? I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Network, Women's Coaching and Consulting. Also, I'm in a personal major growth, my gosh, opportunity with a new podcast, the Category of One show with C-Suite Network, a new book that I'm releasing, all kinds of things, growing our council, and in the middle of a big move to another state. So, life's in session. And I'm curious for each of you, life's in session for you too, right? Would love to hear before we introduce our newest esteemed faculty partner. Just jump in. What's going on in your world? What do you want to share? What's new and fabulous? What do you want to tell the world about and use our Women's Coaching and Consulting Council platform to share? Jump in. New and fabulous. Kate, could we give you the platform first? You're our newest esteemed faculty.
Yes, I'm happy to. Hello, I'm Kate Rosenberg. I'm a career coach and founder of Shattered Glass Coaching. So the theme of today's call is very applicable because I'm all about shattering the glass ceiling. And the big one for me is working on my book that comes out in 2 weeks. It's called Authentic Success. It's a guide for ambitious women to build aligned careers and lives. And so the prep and getting ready to launch this book, sell the book, have both virtual and in-person launch events on the day of has been really exciting and keeping me busy while simultaneously working with all of my one-on-one clients. Most of my clients are job seekers. I work with women in corporate who are transitioning into new roles. And it's been keeping me really busy. Like you said, life is in session, but it's all very exciting.
Excellent, excellent. So, Kate, we are just delighted. We're going to support you in your book launch, and I love the idea that we could all get together. And of course, Suzanne, with your new book and your current books, and Susan, with what you're creating for all of us, is we can get together and let's have a launch strategy that we execute with you. Let's use the power of our platform, C-Suite Networks platform, to give you that magic 24 hours, maybe even the magic 2 hour time frame to give you the ranking that you're looking for, along with 100 or more reviews on Amazon. So, yep, we're good. And now, share, you're going to be launching a program with us in a couple weeks too. We're excited.
Yes.
So good. Thank you. Good. Welcome. Very good. Thank you. Who else? What's new and fabulous and exciting in your world that you'd like to share? Jump in.
I'll go. Yes, I'm tongue-tied. Ah, here's the thing. We all are about helping and working when we're coaching others. And it really is about the relationships we build to make business happen in a very proactive way that not only supports what our mission is, but also helps those that we are working with to reach what is their goals in life and how they grow business that they are in or how they are supporting a business. And I really want, as a relationship architect, for people to understand that that first relationship begins with themselves. And when we understand who we are at all levels and learn to deal with the good and the ugly we sometimes see without shame, without judgment, but with the strength and power to move us forward, to find those partners that we work with to make things better in all aspects of both living life and building successful businesses. It becomes so much easier. And right now, with the chaos in the world, the chaos in how AI is changing things rapidly, the fears that are being created, the burnout and everything going on, it becomes even more crucial at times to stop pushing and step back and go, who am I? And so that ties into the humanitarian and humanitarianism I really want to see build, which is a movement at a ground level, not a big push, but it's those small steps. And so there's so much there that is requiring me to question a lot of things while at the same time trying to make sure I'm still addressing what needs to be addressed.
Brilliant, brilliant. A new and exciting body of work, humanitarianism. Oh my goodness. We're so thrilled and so thrilled for you. And sisters, we get the great opportunity to say, hey, April 30th, 2026, we were there when Susan started this launch process. We were here when Kate was starting her launch process. And Suzanne, how about you? What is new and fabulous in your world?
Yeah, since a couple of weeks, I have the honor of working with the leadership team of two major parts of the city of Gothenburg to merge them together and yeah, create a new much larger organization together, and I'm in there to help them with the transition. So that's really, really special. And Kate, I live in Sweden, in Gothenburg, so I'm not in the US. And yes, and also as I mentioned before, I have released my first new book, not in my name, but in a pen name. So I'm really seeing that this about writing books is a really fun, inspiring, and rewarding way of channeling my motivation. And my goal is to, by the end of this year, to have passive income of at least 2K a month from books.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Good.
So
And we
it's
know
really,
your
yeah,
one of your latest
yeah.
releases is
And
certainly
here's the first
fantastic.
one.
That's right. There we go.
Yeah,
Yes, 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 yes.
yeah, yeah,
Good,
yeah.
good.
So yeah, it's great times ahead, and it's spring, and it's yeah, it's really, yeah, and new people mysteriously just reach out to me for partnership and looking at new businesses. So something is happening, definitely. It's re
Excellent,
it's good times.
excellent. Thank you. And one would also just expect that of your 34,000 plus LinkedIn connections that things are happening for you and bubbling up
Yeah,
at a really exciting level. So congratulations, right?
thank
Oh
you.
my gosh. Yeah, very
Yeah,
good.
and I
Thrilling.
know that both you and some other people here have done some research projects, and I'm really
Yes.
interested in doing a research project for CEOs during the summer. So I would love to speak to you more about how you have done it at some point, if possible.
Absolutely, would love to do that. So let's talk. We'll have a special session on that, or we'll have kind of maybe a breakout special session for our esteemed faculty partners. And it's really, really powerful. I have launched one. Carol Kamimer is
Mm.
she has another obligation she had to go to. She wanted to be on our call. She's esteemed faculty. She launched a very successful research project study. Deb Creer is also launching one, and she's doing one. And I know Susan, you're going to be, and Sheila Anderson, several ladies are. Angela Fowler certainly has. So it's a great strategy, and we'll talk about that. So good. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay, good. So thank you. All right. Hey, we're on the move, ladies, aren't we? We are on the move. And what a great way to live life, to have things that we're excited about, looking forward to the future. And that type of enthusiasm grounded in the creation and production of content and books and things and assets. That is, I think personally, that's a life worth living. And I was just interviewed for a nationally syndicated magazine yesterday afternoon about this whole philosophy about having things, having assets, whether we're in corporate, we're executives, we're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, having things that we've created an expression. It gives us life force energy. And so we are so excited on May the 14th to be featuring you, Kate Rosenberg. We're so excited to be talking about your new book, and your topic is so timely, about not burning out. And that's part of the theme today is managing our energy, manage everything about who we are, and really creating something that's a living legacy for us. Yes. Kate, would you like to say anything more in anticipation? Because we're going to start doing, C-Suite has already started promotion as well as our council for you. So we're going to be going into a lot of executive women's groups and promoting you within those groups. So we're very excited about that. So we're going to have great
Yeah, thank
participation.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. And the theme of this roundtable, Authentic Success, is also the name of my book, Authentic Success, and it's the day that it comes out. So very timely. I know. I look forward to that. And like you said, it's about building an aligned career without selling out or burning out. So being successful, but in a way that feels authentic and genuine to who you are. And I will give a teaser of the cover if I may share my screen.
Please. Yes,
I
we'd
don't
love that.
know.
Yeah. Let me make
It
you
says host. Thank you.
That's okay. Yeah, do it right now. Yeah,
Perfect.
jump
So
in.
sticking with the shattered glass theme, this is my cover.
Ooh, beautiful. Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm really excited to get a physical copy in my hand. But this is the book that will be coming out on May 14th, along with the roundtable that day. So I'm excited about all of that and to share some of the concepts from the book.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Wow, great. Congratulations to
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Yes. And I think I'm already thinking about Kate, like the follow-up book, the follow-up, what's going to be the interview series you do, because I've got a story about how I didn't do that and how the effect of, trying to pick up the pieces after a medical crisis or a life crisis or all these things. So you get to be the guide to support women to look at that in advance and be able to bypass those kinds of challenges. So yeah, very good. Congratulations. Needed more than ever before. Fantastic. Very good. Good. Thank you. So let's jump in, and I would love to continue on. And of course, we were talking just a moment ago about our esteemed faculty sister, Deb Creer. She has this fantastic survey study research project that she's doing. She's also expanding it to go beyond people who have been impacted with not only a cancer diagnosis, but also any sort of medical crisis. And this is so important because how do people who are in leadership roles, maybe they own their own business, maybe they're in corporate in associations, organizations, wherever they're at, how do they keep the business going when they've had an important life altering kind of diagnosis? And that's what Deb has lived through. She has lived experience in this, and she is doing research to learn more. And we're very excited. So check out on LinkedIn. The research links are everywhere. Feel free, jump in. Even if you have not had this personally touch you, we would so appreciate on Deb's behalf reposting and supporting this. So yeah, I think she's going to be winding it down in the next couple weeks. So thank you, thank you. Very good. So big shout out to Deb for doing this. And so my curious question for us, to set the context, and we get in, we get out, we got a lot of content to cover, but also some ideas that we can take away from today. So for the context here, I'm curious, what is it that you're currently building or expanding in your business right now? So we can take this from the esoteric into like getting in the game on the court for our business. And so what are you using this as a framework? What is it that you're currently building? What are you focusing on? What are you expanding? And where in that expansion, where are you feeling stretched? Where are you also feeling like you're at capacity? So just curious, if you'd like to share, we'd love to have you jump in.
I'll
Not to
jump
share.
in right away because
Please.
I am
Love it. Thank
always
you.
feeling stretched. Uh, and a lot of
Yes.
times it is the successful components of what you have done for years that is supporting you as you are attempting to create something that you are either passionate about or purposefully seeing as a direction that needs to be addressed in business. And in trying to carve out the time to focus on that, you still need to be very respectful of how are you servicing the clients that you have, the needs that you have with them, and the best way to maintain a self-respecting care for yourself in that time frame, because otherwise you reach a point where you're not able to do your best at any of it. And so I think that is part of it, especially as things are expanding with AI and you're looking at what could be shifted to something that I haven't thought about. I don't think a day goes by that somebody doesn't mention, oh, I'm having success using this, or this has made it possible for me to do something different. And as individuals, we really have to look at the fact that we each take these things on so uniquely that maybe what is working for somebody else is the sort of thing you can look at and go, that ain't for me at all. And gratefully understand that they're pointing out something that is functional maybe for a client of yours, even if it isn't functional for you. And how you separate those ideas becomes really important.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm curious, how many of you experienced the shiny disco ball, the shiny object syndrome? I like to keep my little disco ball right here to remind me that not everything needs to be activated on, right? Got a lot of disco balls out there. Yes, yes. Yeah. Anyone else? Where are you currently building, expanding, and where are you feeling stretched or at capacity?
I'll chime in.
Thank
And
you,
for
Kate.
me, yes, I have been really growing my lead gen efforts on TikTok, and it's kind of been taking off, which is awesome. But I'm getting a lot of leads coming in, and I'm at a point where I'm nearly full with my one-on-one clients, and
Yeah.
I don't have a structured group or council to put them into yet. And so that's where I'm feeling stretched or at capacity. So I'm working on mapping out how do I start filtering all these great leads who are coming in into group programs to make it more sustainable for me. And I'm figuring it out. It's in the works.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. And isn't it fabulous that that overcapacity and abundance can be, it can be challenging. I think many of us, I know we want more, we want to do more, we want to have more and impact more. And at the same time, there's a cost to that, right? There's a cost. It's not
Right.
an easy kind of thing. So yeah. And Kate would love to chat with you even more about that. So we can schedule some
Thank
time
you.
to do that. Yes, you're
Yeah.
welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Suzanne, anything you'd like to share about what you're creating, where you're feeling like, hey, I need to have some more space, room, growth support, something like that?
As I said, I am really thinking about creating like a research study as well around
Ah,
um,
excellent.
yeah, CEOs and C-suite members, how they yeah, around my smart leadership theme, to both have more data and research for a next book, and also to really get. I'm thinking about both having a survey, but also doing a couple of deep interviews to have
Excellent.
really
Yeah.
more knowledge about what's going on today with AI and everything that is constantly moving, and yeah, to learn more, and to be, so I can be of better service.
Excellent. Excellent. Really great. Yes. And that is part of the strategic step within the category of one framework that I have launched with my book and podcast. is that research component really creates our own IP, and it's quotable, referenceable, and it's an exciting component. So we will be sure we'll cover that and be delighted to have a conversation with you on that as well. Delighted
Great.
to do it. So yeah, good. So I think for me, it's also really understanding what's up in my business. And I like to joke that with my clients, I like to get up in their business in a good way. And I think that that's how we work with all of our clients, but being able to take a moment to step aside. And that's why our weekly C-suite network women's coaching and consulting council meetings, gatherings, interactive gatherings, I think are so important because we can just take an hour, like 55 minutes, and just step back and think about, all right, where is my business today? Where's it this week, this month? Where am I going? Because uh, for how many of you, you're in the doing of it. You're in it, and I have to plan and plan when can I work on my business versus in my business. And the thing that I'm also curious about is not only today, but what's that next level that you're going for? What is it going to require from you that you are not currently structured for? Oh my goodness. I'm like all of us, we're future focused. And I'm thinking about, hey, launching a podcast. I don't know how to do that. I've never done it before. I don't know about the assets, the video, all of this. So I have hired an expert to help me with that. She's going to be able to condense and compress years of do it myself into literally 30 days. It's amazing. So I think right now, one of the key things is speed to market, speed to the result, speed to action, speed to our thought leadership is absolutely critical. And you sisters, we know this, we're doing it, but also how does that impact our clients? Our clients need the same kind of thing. So we get to model the way. I think that's great. So any comments, questions about like future proofing your business and your life? What do you think you is going to be required? I mean, I know I have to be less in the doing and more in the thought leadership. As an example, the article that's being written that I had an interview for yesterday, the preparation that I took was extraordinary. And to be able to do more of those thought leader CEO kinds of things is what I want to do while I've got the business engine going underneath. Anything else you'd like to comment on? The other
Yeah.
thing that I would like to mention, how many of you can relate to being the coach, the consultant, the trusted advisor, and then moving into like being the one? You're the one in your business. You are the sole proprietor, the one, and then moving to having a team, having support, letting go of things. That's where I'm so fascinated is that identity shift. Eugenia, have something you want to share. Jump in, dear, please.
Well, I just wanted to, everything resounds pretty well with me. The reason I took a vacation was to reset myself. But,
Yes.
I'm moving into a TEDx talk speaking on businesses being successful. But I'm past middle age. I need to do it quickly. So I feel and find that the C-suite network people help me move a little faster. The ideas come a little quicker. And I really appreciate that. I don't have time to grow. I need to grow now. And
Excellent.
when you own businesses, being successful is what you look for. For me, it's not the money. It's to grow, to be successful. And I want to hit the peak where I was before COVID.
Yes.
COVID took me down. I'm moving up and I'm moving into speaking. So I appreciate all the help to make me get there, before I'm off the planet.
Eugenia, thank you. Thank you. Hey, how many of you we realize, hey, we've got limited time, right? We've got limited time. And I was thinking about this morning is with everything that I'm doing, everything that you're doing is we can make more money. We can create and expand, but not to be a downer, but this is the reality is time is finite. I can't get back the time that I was doing things. And that's why that means so much to me personally That's why I want to have every one of our calls, every one of our interactive gatherings be meaningful, right? And be able to, get together and have short, succinct, but meaningful, in depth. I like to say we get heavy, deep, and real on our calls. So yeah, very good. Good. Eugenia, thank you. Gotcha. We're with you, sister. We got it.
Oh,
So
wonderful group, wonderful group.
thank you very much, dear. We're glad you're here. Thank you. Can't wait to hear about your cruise when you come back and are ready to really jump in. So that's great. Thank you. So I wanted to quote one of our sisters, Sheila Anderson. I love this. She said people need to know you before they need you. And so this balance of how growing, scaling, and being everywhere all the time, I think is so darn important. That's where, thank you for the quote about C-suite network, because we need leverage, right? If you if a woman is a coach consultant in a community of now over 2 million coaches and consultants on LinkedIn, 2 million, it's impossible. How are people choosing who they're going to work with? Who are they choosing whom they're going to hire, who they're going to partner with, who are they going to hire as a speaker or get in relationship with? So that's why our topic is so important today. And I'm experiencing this myself. Hello, we write about and we talk about and we broadcast and create content about things that we're dealing with, right? And so this category of one, capacity ceiling, I am dealing with this right now, is that we have more resources, more opportunities than time, right? And yes, we've all got the same 24-hour clock and we've got all these things, but I'm noticing that the things that were working are feeling very uncomfortable these days. Working as the sole coach consultant. So going through that identity change where we're everything we were doing was working and things were pretty cool. And now with this next level of growth, things are, I'll just be completely frank, things are falling through the cracks. I'm not dealing at the same level of excellence that is my standard. And so, I can take the route of, getting down on it, being upset. Okay, fine. And or taking action. So today is part of the action taking for all of us. So things like opportunities, there's an opportunity cost for being so busy. We're stuck at the level of what we can do. And I don't think, at the very bottom point that I was thinking about, is I don't think this is a motivation problem. I think it's just a business model problem. Okay. And how can we use AI to optimize? So, comments, questions jumping in. So, I wanted to just bring up this point because I think that, the ceiling is not necessarily money. The ceiling for us is time, resources, and bigger thinking and execution. Okay. And isn't that what we work with our clients on? Right. Yeah. So,
And all
modeling
at
it
the
for
same
ourselves
time.
all at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you, Suzanne. Yes, good. Susan, jump in, please.
Well, and I think part of it is maintaining a fluidity. And there's that need to continue to move at times, and there's a time for us to take that step back and create a real focus moment for how you're looking at something so that you can recognize where something's not working that you need to let go, that maybe has been crucial to the past, but it no longer is. And that letting go can sometimes be the toughest thing for some of us. So we really have to have that fluidity to go, I don't need to live it that way anymore to still have power, to still be able to take something and build something new and different. And it's when we talk about job descriptions, I keep saying we're looking back at what was a description. At this point, nothing is done exactly the same anymore. And until you're willing to accept that somebody might come up with some little tweak that makes a huge thing, we have to have that collaborative effort of asking the questions. Who's got something that can contribute that will all of a sudden set off a light bulb and have you go, wow, all of a sudden
Brilliant.
I can see this happening because I collaborated with somebody else in a new and different way, and we both win. It's not just a win for me. It's a win for them. It's a win for me. It's a win for us collectively.
Love it. Thank you, Susan. And that's the purpose of our council too, is to come together, create, not only bake a bigger pie, but also to bake more pies and to be able to work together to break that old model. When I've been a coach consultant for multiple decades. That old model was very competitive, is that if you got a client, that meant that that was a client I didn't get. And that model always felt uncomfortable. Also, there was always what I've noticed, the soft underselling, selling underneath the conversation. It was like trying to always get clients. And that model it just doesn't work anymore. And so our council is really remodeling the way women coaches and consultants work together in a more collaborative way. But our capacity, thank you, Susan, because you mentioned, hello, what I'm noticing is what are the symptoms that are saying, hey, I'm at capacity and I've hit a ceiling. And so thinking for yourself, hey, I'm booked all the time, but I'm not. And Kate, you brought this up, got a lot of interest and action on TikTok. And I'm working with C-Suite Network on a project now so that we're doing a lot of engagement. But if we don't have the container, the opportunity, the fulfillment, there's a break in the rung, right? We're doing a lot of spinning of things, but if we don't have the container to hold all of this interest, it's really a lost opportunity, right? And what I'm noticing too is the old models of the one-on-one, so important, so critical, but having one-on-one relationships with, in the context of more corporate, like Suzanne, what you're doing, more corporate kinds of engagement, more government, more bigger opportunities, groups, councils, masterminds, you still can keep the 101 as like a VIP premium kind of offer, but you also have a one-to-many model. And everything that you ladies are doing with content, that helps us with the one-to-many model. So it's really part of this whole, I think it's part of the whole funnel, the portfolio. And I also noticed that, hey, opportunities are everywhere. That's how we operate, ladies, right? Is we're always thinking, okay, there's opportunities everywhere, but it is really depending a lot on us. So our council is created so that you don't have to be everywhere, that you can have a sisterhood, and we're building it, building it, building it, that you have more people advocating for you. Okay. And I'm wondering also, as a curious question, how can you and how can we build that kind of advocacy within our clients? I think that that's also a missing thing that we can think about, is how can we have more people give us testimony about their experiences? So maybe a little takeaway from today is, with every testimony, with every referral, with every relationship, Susan Younger, thank you for talking about that. I think that that gives us exponential growth and reach. So anything jumping in, feel free. Good. So
Yeah,
you've hit the ceiling. Kate, jump in, please.
I feel like all six of these, check, 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 check. Yes, all of them for me. And I'm realizing
Absolutely.
too that it's not just about time, it's also about my energy. You mentioned
Yes.
feeling exhausted, but not being
Yes.
able to break through. And so it goes back to the structure of your business and having a structure that is sustainable and is realistic for how much, not just how many hours you have in the day, but also for how much energy you have to expend. Because I think it is important to conserve your energy so you can stay at your best, but creating structures to make that happen and not just going go, 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 go until you just want to lie in bed at 6 p.m.
Yes, exactly. Go, go, go to stop, 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 right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Not pause, but stop, stop, stop. Great. And this is related to your book too. You talk about these when it comes to these important topics, and health crisis can happen. I call it medical mischief. Things can happen when our body is saying, slow it down, but yet our head is saying, I got to keep on going. I got to keep working. So, yeah, yes, let's get it all in alignment. And aren't we sisters? We're modeling for our clients, our prospective clients in our community, our families, our everything, what's possible. And so I think that the balance that works for you, that work life balance, I mean, that's a loaded term for a lot of folks, but I think knowing when enough is enough, and then putting in that, hey, what are the solutions? Well, for many of us, working more, working harder, working longer is not necessarily the answer. We don't want to be the busiest expert out there. I believe we want to be the most clearly positioned, the most strategic, being in the right rooms, and really maximizing our capacity in space. You know, the term about taking up space. Hard to take up space when we're constantly running, right? We're just like flashing across and doing things. So, really, really important things. Okay. So, I've got just a quick three kinds of from some frameworks to think about, and then we're going to jump into some solutions here. But of course, owning your positioning, this is part of the category of one, is knowing who you are, what your offers are, where do you fit into the marketplace, building the infrastructure to be more visible. What I notice too, and I've done it for years, is I'm always I have been in the past in communities. Now, this is an exception, the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. We are the exception to the rule here, is uh, is being in networking groups with peers. Okay, there's a time and a place for that, but that can't be our entire networking and connecting and community outreach type of initiative is getting in those rooms. And we're going to have a topic coming up soon about how to do that. I have been doing a lot of research on specifically executive women in my local community because I have a local business, global and local. And Suzanne, you have that too. Susan, you have that. Kate, you have that is local. And so I'm doing all kinds of informational conversations with my local community within a 100-mile radius. So literally within a day's drive, I can go out and meet face to face, have a whole set of connections and conversations and meetings set up, come back, and it's like, wow, I don't have to get on a plane. I don't have to get on a train. I can do this. So just an idea. Nothing compares with getting face to face with people and human beings. And Zoom is great, FaceTime is great, but that human to human connection is making the difference. So my informational interviews have been with executive women on tell me about the day in your life. Tell me about what you're dealing with. What are the communities? I'm giving you a little research tidbits here, but tell me about the groups that you participate in. Tell me about challenges, opportunities. Tell me about what are you reading? So like getting into their world, they love it, they appreciate it. And then I'm not talking from hypotheticals. I'm talking about like last week on Thursday, I had this conversation, and here's what this type of woman said in the interview. So, yeah. The other thing that I'm noticing, and think about this too, is our ideal clients, so many of them do not have an outlet to express what they're dealing with. Kate, you mentioned it before, is we get to be this sacred, trusted person in their life, knowing that we will never reveal the details of the conversation nor the person, but we get to listen and be not necessarily the person that's providing solutions unless they want it, but we get to be that advocate, that strategy person. It's really a sacred relationship, really powerful. So doing more of that. And of course, strategic availability. Number three is, hey, are we available for everything? Okay. I noticed in my career, in my business, when I was available for everything, I was a yes to everything. I was then not saying yes to myself. I don't know if you feel me on this. Recommend. I was on every board. I was doing every volunteer thing. It was great. Loved it. Got a lot of fulfillment. But at the end of the day, I said, gosh, what did I do for my business today? What did I do for myself today? So just something to think about. That's part of our capacity. Jump in, comments, questions. And of course, we've talked about this, owning your positioning, seeing yourself as the category of one. Who are you? Your content, your assets, your IP also demonstrate it. But then how are we using it? TED Talks, speaking, keynotes, articles, commenting, all kinds of things about the things that we're passionate about too, right? Makes a difference. And also visibility that works for you. And I love what Sheila Anderson said is people need to know you before they need you. What I'm noticing now in corporate is those 2027 plans are already happening. They're putting together their speakers, they're putting together their plans for retreats. Corporates are looking for within their employee resource groups who are they going to bring in that's aligned with not yesterday's topics, not generic AI, but where are they going in the future? So thinking about how can we reach out now to be on their calendars and in their budgets for next year. So if there's anything else as a takeaway today, that's what I'm also working on now is how can I make those connections to be in the right rooms for where I'm going, where you're going into next year. And it doesn't have to be like a whole day of connections, but it can be literally this week. I'm going to make 5 to 10 new relationship connections to be able to get into the right rooms, be the speaker at their industry association conferences for next year. Okay. Comments, questions, jump in because our topic 2 weeks ago was how to be omnipresent. And so check out our YouTube channel because we talked all about that, about the details about how to be omnipresent. And then, of course, being available for the right opportunities for you. So critical, right? Okay. So the thing that I find and I get the most juiciness from is the whole idea about the identity shift that needs to happen. Yes, we could call and we could have a virtual assistant take this off our plate. Yes, we could hire a person to do this. But I'm curious in our remaining few minutes, what's this about the identity shift that has you really say, hmm, you know, are you moving? Gosh, our time has flown. It's crazy. How do we move from being the sole proprietor to then being the CEO? And we're going to complete on that topic. We're going to take this into more content, more discussion in a follow-up program. But let's leave on that. What are your thoughts about the shift you're making to move from being a coach, and it's a great, great identity, a consultant, to being the CEO of your company? And I'll pause right here. Jump in. What are you thinking? Big thing, right? Same thing that our clients are going through. They want to get a promotion. Yep, same
Yeah,
thing.
and I
Yes.
think that going to being a CEO, it sounds so much easier than it is. It's what working
Yes.
on your business, not in your business, and it seems so simple. But I've been back and forth for years, and I pull myself out, and then I slip back a little bit, and definitely much harder than it seems.
Yes. Thank you, Eugenia. Completely agree, right? And the comfort zone of what's familiar and what we're used to, right? That comfort zone. Oh, it's so nice. I love doing all these, it's like, okay. And would a CEO of a company be doing what you're doing right now? It's like not a make wrong, not a shame blame, but it's like, wow, think this through. Yes. Yep. Susan, jump in, please.
And I think for
Eugenie.
many that get into business, they're doing it because it's something they loved, maybe doing in a corporation, and they forget that having the skills to do what they love does not necessarily make them the business leader that a CEO needs to be, and stop doing some of the things so that they really can look at the collective of what it takes to move their business forward. And that's where either you need to bring in somebody who can help you with those things so that you can offload to them the components that can bring the information to you so you can do it more productively as a CEO whilst
Well,
not losing much of what you love to do about your business.
Really,
I
thank
also
you. Yes.
find that when you go there, it's so hard not to let the quality slip a little bit. Like you can delegate it to the other people, but I find I fall back in there because I have a high sense of quality. And I've realized I have to give up just a little bit of quality for the quantity to step back. And it's hard for me.
Yes. 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 Yep. Great, great topics. And my gosh, we've got the whole part two of this. Oh my goodness, which is, hey, what can we let go of strategically as well as tactically? And also, I bring in the curious question. We'll hold this for another time. My intention is get us thinking. How can we move? What's the identity that we're moving into? That new role that we're moving into? What is it that's calling us forward, sisters? What's calling us forward? And part two will be tactically, how do we let things go? What do we let go? And then also thinking about, hey, are you also doing this in your home, in your personal life? What else can we do about having more greater freedom personally and professionally? So, yes, so good. So, as we complete, my gosh, the time flew. What a gorgeous time to spend with you. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic. Thinking about, hey, your biggest takeaway and what's emerging for you as your final takeaway from our time together? What are you thinking about? And also, what do you think you'd like to take some action on today? Of course. Hey, we can't be a coach, consultant without asking that second question. And what do you do about it, right? What are you thinking?
For me, this was just another push to get me out of the one-to-one where my time is the thing that is the only thing that is being sold in my business right now. And I kind of need to get out of that and create a structure in my business where opportunities are coming in and I'm not the one sacrificing my time for each and every individual opportunity because I value my time and I can use that time in smarter ways.
Excellent. Thank you. Completely agree. Good. And let's have that conversation. That's really terrific. Great. Good, good, good. Thank you. Susan, Eugenia, biggest takeaways from our time together. I like to do a little bookend thing, right? Like let's put a little bookend on our time.
Yeah, for me, it's so obvious that as a category of one, you both have to have to balance the revenue coming in with the testing new ideas and elevating yourself. And also, as you said, Eugenia, that letting go is hard of things you might love doing and you're good at, and to leave that and to elevate yourself to the next level and really trusting and both in what you're doing and in yourself.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Great. Susan Younger, take us home, dear. What's your
I
biggest
think
takeaway? Thoughts? Yeah.
for me, it's just reinforcing things that have been discussed well, we're now into the end of the first month of the second quarter, and just how
Yes.
rapidly we are needing to engage with things in order to really be on top of it, to not just say, what are we doing in 2026, but where are we going in 2027? That it really
Great.
is about looking to the future while maintaining the current status of where things are at. And how we manage to do that becomes more crucial on a daily basis.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. So I think this is just a great, great idea of, hey, where am I going? And even, you know, pour yourself a cup of tea this afternoon, this evening, and think about, hey, what do I want to accomplish? Big picture here. What am I going for? And with that, love to connect with each of you. Schedule a time with me. I'm on Calendly, Kathleen Caldwell. Let's schedule a time. Hey, I talk about being busy. We're all busy, but I am never too busy for you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And of course, thanks for sharing your biggest takeaways. Loved our time together. We will see you next Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to talk next week about teams, team coaching, bringing people together. Whoa, it is one of the hottest things. And I'm really excited. We're going to talk more about how do we execute and implement a team coaching part of our business. So, with that, lots of love to each of you. Bright blessings, blue skies, lots of love,
Well,
smooth
thank you.
sailing.
And, oh, thank you. And so excited for next week. I am
Thank you.
moving into that. Thank you. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much. Blessings to each of you and smooth
Bye bye.
sailing, bright skies. Okay. Love to each of you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.